Hello, everybody. It's Sandra from the Funky Pickle Thrifter. I am glad you're here for today's video. This is going to be a what sold on my eBay page this week, but it's a little bit more than a week. It's just about 2 weeks, a little bit less. So the purpose of this video is to share with you what some of my sales are, and I hope that this helps you if you're a seller too. I think that's about it. Let's get started. Thank you so much for coming. First up, I got this cute novelty ashtray a couple of days ago. I was with my mother in a junk store that we both really enjoy going to, and it really is junk. It's a company that cleans out old houses, so they always have just like cool stuff, and you never know what you're going to get, but a lot of it's broken, a lot of it's dirty. It's really junky, but we somehow always make money in this store. So we did buy some jewelry. I got some like old belt buckles, like a lot of stuff that I like to sell. I paid $30 for everything, and I know for sure I'm going to be making a bunch of money because in that lot of the $30, I also got a bunch of vintage girdles, and they're the long-legged ones, and those are really the ones that are quite desirable. Along with that, I got some old underwear, like, you know, the granny panty ones. People think those are very sexy. It's like kind of a throwback. Hipsters really like them, right? Because they look like they're Betty Grable or whatever. Anyhow, this ashtray sold for $25. It's really kind of fun, right? It's a cheap one. Sometimes you see these like nudie ashtrays and they're old and they're Art Nouveau and they're really high quality. That's not the case here, but I still think it's cute and I know people collect these. So sold this one for $24.99. Books can be tough to sell these days because of Kindles, but I found this one, and the reason I really wanted to buy it, it was $1 in a thrift store, but the reason I really wanted to buy it is because I wanted to read it. And the other thing is it was actually signed. I got this in the New York City area, so I'm sure that her father, who wrote this book, did sign this for somebody, probably at a Barnes and Noble or something like that. And it's an interesting book. You know, it's sad if you know the whole story about Amy Winehouse. Anyhow, paid $1, sold it for $12.99. Here's a very unusual item. This one took longer to sell than I would have thought. It was 15 inches tall. It's all handmade, and of course, if anybody is a Bruce Springsteen fan, you know who this is. This is Tilly the Clown. He's very, very famously on a bar in Asbury Park where Bruce Springsteen used to play. It's called the Wonder Bar. So this was interesting, and when I was at this guy's garage sale, I asked him for the history of it, right? Because that's the one chance we really get to find out what it is and who made it and all of that. And he said he was a huge diehard Springsteen person, and his buddy had made this for him. Now, this could be painted, and this really is a great thing for any Bruce Springsteen collector. Anyway, I think I paid $5 for this. It might have been a little bit less than that, and I sold it for $49.99. Here's a great CD box set. I had gotten this at a yard sale for $3, and I figured it might have some resale value, and it doesn't really. It's kind of surprising, right? This is a beautiful box set. It also had a great booklet, and it seems like the CDs were never played. It was in great condition. So didn't pay a lot for it, but I was only able to get $19.99 for it. The reason being, of course, is a lot of people buy their music now on iTunes, or they just listen to it through streaming or YouTube and all of that stuff. So yeah, why pay when you can get it for free, I guess. But this is so beautiful, and it was also in a very, very beautiful collector's box and all of that. Anyway, sold it for $19.99. I got a whole stack of Teen Idol magazines over the summer. I think on one of my videos, I think it was this lot, I was reading one or two of them at the end of my video. It was really fun flipping through them. So I'm like a little bit too young to have gotten into the Bobby Sherman thing, but he is kind of cute. But look at this centerfold. Wow, that's pretty sexy, right? For something that a young kid's gonna read. I mean, what do you think the demo probably was for these magazines? Like kids from 7 or 8, maybe to 12. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, look, is that... No, that's not Barnabas. That's Jonathan Frid, right? No, I don't know. David Selby. That's who it is. Anyone know what I'm talking about? The Dark Shadows guy? Anyhow, I can go on and on about these super cool magazines, but I didn't pay much for them, and I sold them for $19.99 for both. I sold this Will and Grace DVD set. This is a 2-pack, so it's seasons 1 and 2. I got this in that junk store. I paid $1 for it, but I know I'm already in the profit for sure on that lot I bought because I got tons of sealed DVDs of different sitcoms, different stuff, but they were all new and sealed and perfect. So anyway, got $9.99 for this, completely in the profit on this. This necklace is epic. This is all glass, and it wasn't signed by a designer, so I couldn't find a signature on it, and I can't attribute it to anybody. I don't know who made it, but it had to have been a really good jewelry house because this was very, very high quality, and I think it's just gorgeous. This is just screaming out to be worn with some couture outfit. I hope the person who got it's really going to wear it a lot. Very unusual, beautiful molded glass, really pretty shade of pink. Now this one was up for a long time. I don't remember where I got this. I think it was in a thrift store, so I wouldn't have paid a lot of money for it. I think I know the thrift store I got this one in. Anyway, someone reached out and offered me $60 for it. So that's what I did. I took a best offer of $60 on this. I'm really happy it found a new home, but you know, it really is kind of worth about 3 times that money. So somebody got a really good bargain, but that's okay. I hope they enjoy it. So sold this one for $60. Joan Rivers jewelry always sells very, very well for me. I thought this one was particularly pretty. That's a beautiful piece of teal blue glass, and it's in a basket. It's kind of cool, right? I really like it. It was very, very long. You can see there it's doubled up. In beautiful condition. There's her signature on the bottom. You see there's 2 rhinestones also on the bottom. What a nice touch. And yeah, it was 36 inches long. So I think I paid maybe 2 or 3 for this at a yard sale, as I recall, and I sold it for $24.99. I buy Jim Shore collectibles sometimes. It depends. They have to kind of be special enough, but if they're new in the box, I really kind of pay closer attention to them. I believe I paid $3 for this at a yard sale. It's an Easter basket with eggs. You know, you can see that my picture's not very good here, and I didn't want to unwrap it and try to get a good picture of it and everything because I wanted to keep it all sealed up because it was new. But somebody who is buying this, they know exactly what it is. They know they're looking for the Jim Shore Gathering Joy set. So that's why I wasn't really sweating these photographs too much. But very, very cute item, and I sold it for $29.99. I'm the original owner of this DVD box set. I love old rock and roll. I love new rock and roll. I love rock and roll, period. And I love watching old performances like this. Now, I think there were 144 different performances, including the Elvis performance and the Beatles debut. Lots of really great stuff. The famous Doors appearance, right? Does everybody know that? I'll just tell you quickly. The Doors played, and they were doing Light My Fire. And there's a line where it says, "Girl, we couldn't get no higher." So Ed Sullivan's people came over to Jim Morrison and said, "You can't sing that lyric. You have to change it or else, you'll be in big trouble." So of course they go on the show and it's live. And Jim Morrison, he looks right in the camera too. He's really defiant. And he says, "Girl, we couldn't get no higher." So anyway, the Doors, they finish their performance. They go backstage, and somebody from Ed Sullivan's staff goes up to them and says to Jim Morrison, "You were told not to do that, and now you can just forget playing the Ed Sullivan show." And Jim Morrison says, "We just played the Ed Sullivan show." Which is so great, right? Gotta love Morrison. Anyway, I don't know what I paid for this one. I'm sure it was more than $60, but I did get my enjoyment out of it, so I sold it for $60. I bought out a lot of really pretty jewelry. It was vintage and antique jewelry from an old jewelry store. A few months ago, I did this. And in that collection, there were a lot of old items like this. And these are called porcelain shards. I think the story here is these come from antique porcelain items like plates or pitchers or something. And then they I don't know if they were broken or if they break them up and they make them into jewelry. And I think these have some very, very nice age on them. Now, I had sold one. Oh, it has those wax seals on the back too, which is kind of cool. I sold one that was similar to this, and the guy paid $25, and he got it, and he loved it, and he sent me a very, very nice note. And then I knew I had these other ones, like this particular guy with the beard right here. I think he came from that same piece because it looked very similar to the other one he bought. Anyway, I sent him a little note back and I said, I just put 3 more up, so check them out. I started them out at $75 and then he didn't want them, so I lowered the price to 50 and he bought them. So very happy with that profit. I didn't pay much for them, but I think they're very interesting items. I have some more porcelain shard pendants to sell, but they're not as nice as these. These were really the best ones right here. Here's another epic necklace. This is better than your average bear. It really is. So this says Western Germany on it. So that dates it definitely before 1989 or 1990. But we know this is even older than that. This is probably from the 1950s. Very, very well constructed. But I think it's so interesting the way it's like sort of like a flower spray in a way, if you know what that is. Very high quality, not signed by a designer. There's the back. It was just in perfect condition. There's where it says Western Germany. A lot of times you see items like this and they're scratched up because they're glass. So people have these in the jewelry box and they have other pieces of jewelry and they're rummaging around and stuff gets like a little bit scratched and from wear too. But this one wasn't so. This was actually in fantastic condition. I probably should have put this one a little bit higher, but anyway, I'm happy. I sold it for $50. I think this may also have been part of that jewelry store haul. Not sure, but beautiful item. I love little cloth suitcases like this, and I love when they're flower powery, and I really love this combination of colors too, the blue-green and that kind of purple. These are really sweet. They're not that small either. I almost kept them because I would just like to, when I go on a trip to put my stuff in here, I just think they're really adorable. They're in really nice condition. The zippers were fine. Very, very clean items. And a lot of times you see and they're beat up because I think children use them or young teenagers and things back in the day when they were going on trips. Anyhow, I think I paid $3 or $4 for the set, something like that at a yard sale, and I sold them for $36.99. I got this item in a thrift store. I think I might have paid $2 for it. I thought this was going to be a really easy sale and it was going to sell right away because it's really cute. I love this. It's almost like a linen-y sort of woven texture, and then it has the little wooden handles, and it was new with the tag. I think that's really a sweet item. Anyway, it took a long time to sell, and I think I kept lowering the price too, but I finally got $19.99 for it. Really cute item. I bought this item about a week and a half ago in a thrift store. I paid $5 for it. I thought this was really adorable. I love this Tiffany style glass. It certainly looks like a chocolate bunny. And I knew that this was going to be something that sold for some money. I didn't even need to look it up. I just knew it. And I had a similar one that was a turkey that I sold around Thanksgiving. And I'll show you what it looks like lit. Isn't that nice? Just put that on my mantle. Really adorable. Worked great. There it is. You can see how tall it is. Now, I think I had 110 on this or something, and then I put a best offer, but I think I put a weird number on it for a best offer, so somebody must have just like kept doing it until they reached the point where I would accept it, because I must have said like decline offers that are less than like $90.50 or something. I don't know. Anyway, I know it's an odd number to take for a best offer, but I sold this one for $90.65. Cute item. I see Limoges items pretty often, and I don't usually buy them unless they're kind of quirky or special or extra cute or something. And I thought this one was. It was a very, very small China elephant, or, China or glazed porcelain. Has that transfer wear right there, 22 karat gold trim. The trunk was up for good luck. It's just a little thing. Look, 1.5 inches tall. Thought it was cute. I paid $1 for it. I thought I was going to be able to get 25 or more, but I got it home and I saw that wasn't the case. And I'm happy anyway. I did buy it now for $14.99 and sold it right away. Paid $1. Look at this beauty. Now, I had bought this as part of a collection from an estate sale in the fall. And of all the items I had, I am going to be keeping some of them. And this was one that I actually was planning on keeping. And then I decided that I would sell it. So it's sterling silver. Look how beautiful that is. Look at the abalone inlay right there. Isn't that pretty? Really beautiful. And you see it's reversible. So that's the sterling silver side and then the stone side. I'm completely in the profit on this. So this is 100% profit. Sold it for $99.99. Really pretty J. King Desert Rose trading necklace. No idea where I bought this, but I know I got it not too long ago. So this is something that I really love to have, and I love to see, and I love to sell. This is butterfly wing jewelry. It's the blue morpho butterfly. I think that butterfly is from South America, and I don't know if you can see it there, but there is a butterfly wing, and then they reverse paint the glass. This may be carved also. I don't think so. I think it's just painted. This was a very, very pretty item, and I think this had some nice age on it as well. So don't remember where I got it, but if I paid for this at a yard sale or a thrift store, I probably paid around $2 for it, maybe $3, and I sold it for $29.99. One thing that sells well for me when I see it are homeschooling items. I think these were homeschooling CDs, and I think they had a Christian angle, I think. And they were all new and sealed. Now, I had already sold the other pieces. I was already completely in the profit for all the other stuff I got at the same yard sale. I had some books, some other CDs, I think some religious DVDs for children, things like that. And I just lotted the 6 of these together, and I sold them for $19.99. All new and sealed. Nice items. Here's the DVD box set. This is new and sealed. I'm really surprised this isn't worth more. This is a Rick Burns documentary on Native Americans. It's called The Way West. 6 hours worth. I was sort of dying to watch it, but, I just don't have the time, so I decided to sell it. I think I paid $1 for this at a yard sale, and I sold it for $12.99. I've had this item for a long time. It hasn't been on eBay for a long time, but I had been going through some old boxes and getting stuff out of the attic and the basement and all that kind of stuff. And I found this. I forgot I had it. This is a really great drawstring crocheted little bag. I was hoping that little thing at the bottom was Bakelite. I'm not sure. I think it wasn't, though. And there's a tassel. See, it kind of had come detached, so somebody just needs to sew that back on, which shouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, I took a best offer on this of $18. This 14 karat yellow gold necklace was an estate sale find. I got this one, I think, about 2 years ago. I was sort of thinking about keeping it, but I don't really wear gold, and I don't usually wear kind of delicate jewelry like this, so I decided that I would sell it. And had some very nice weight, too, like 5.2 grams. So you can see I sold it for just about melt. This was really a great bargain. And I want you to take a look at the link. I don't know if you can see that, but those are hearts. And I think that's a very interesting thing. I've never seen gold that, like that. So this seems like this would have been something that was expensive to make. Somebody got a great big bargain on this. There it is on the scale showing the weight. Nice and long, too. Sold that one for $199.99. This was a very interesting item. I got this in a thrift store. I think it may have been 25 cents, but maybe it was as much as $1. What these are is little tiny perfume vials, and they're in glass. And I guess you break off the ends, and then you can try them out. There's instructions there. Oops, let me see if I can zoom in on it. Not really, kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. They're made of plastine, harmless and dull breaking. Well, they really feel like they're glass. I think these could hurt you too. I can't see how they say harmless. I'm not sure that's true. Anyway, this was kind of a cool item. It was by a company called Lermer. I've never heard of them before, but I thought it looked interesting, and I sold these for $34.99. These were kind of fun items, I thought. I'm still selling my dragon tack pin brooches. I bought maybe like 10 or 15 of these a couple of years ago, and I was thinking about keeping them, and I was going to paint them, and I had all these big plans, but I don't have time. I really don't. This was nice and big, 3 inches long, and I've been selling them little by little for $11.99 each. One at a time. I think I have 3 or 4 more. I have to put those back up because it looks like I have 0 available right there, but that's not so. Anyway, sold this one for $11.99. Really, really cute item, I think. This item was a nice surprise. I was sitting in my den watching TV, and I had a bunch of jewelry that I was sort of looking through, like half-heartedly, on my coffee table. And I picked this up. I was like, that's not real gold, right? I mean, I had looked at it many, many times before, and I'll be darned. Turns out it was real gold, and it was marked on the inside. Can you see that there? It's so difficult to see. I even had a hard time finding it with my loupe. So stuff like this is how people don't know what they have when they're having a yard sale, because it doesn't look like it's marked, and it was very, very hard to see. Another one with some nice weight too, 3.5 grams of gold. Very interesting. It was yellow gold on one side and solid white gold on the other side, and I sold this one for $99.99. I'm sure I didn't pay more than 50 cents or $1 for this at a yard sale. I found these really cute salt and pepper shakers at a yard sale. This person had a lot of salt and pepper shakers. I probably bought 25 pair of them. I don't know why, but I did. These were really cute, probably from the 60s, and they're very sad. Aren't those adorable? Sold those for $14.99. I think I paid $1 for them. I don't know what it is about paint by numbers, but I really love them. And I found this one at a yard sale. I think I did a video that day. I think it was a yard sale with me day, and I paid $1 for this. Really cute, not too small either. And yeah, okay. So you see in the description, it says vintage 1950s Lassie dog framed paint by numbers PBN collie painting, and then it says no frame. Well, there is a frame, as you can see. But somebody was interested in it and said, I don't want to pay all that shipping because the frame made it more than £1, So they said, if you take the frame off, I would just like to have the painting underneath. And then the shipping was like $4 or something. So I was happy to do that. So I took the frame off, but I just put that in the description so it would be clear that they were buying this paint by numbers with no frame. Anyway, paid $1, sold it for $19.99. Very, very cute dog. There are a lot of very avid collectors of amber jewelry. The thing with amber jewelry is you can find it sometimes somewhat easily because it looks like plastic to people. And if people don't know what amber is, then that's a great thing. And I find a lot of it all the time. This was on a sterling silver necklace. Look how big that is. It's massive, 3 inches long. And there it is fluorescing with the black light. That is one way to prove for sure that it's amber. What a beautiful item this is. This is probably 150 million years old, and it's tree resin, and it's just kind of a very, very, very cool thing. And I don't know what I paid for it, but I sold it for $39.99. Oh, and by the way, I just want to take a minute to say if anybody watching this video bought any of these items from me, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I have so many friends of the channel, and that's very wonderful if anybody did that. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button too, because that would help me out. All right? I got this little Budman Stein at a thrift store. It was $3. And I know people collect beer stuff. Like, I wouldn't ordinarily not buy a Stein because I don't know much about them. And, when they're just from Germany or whatever, they were made for tourists. And a lot of them don't have any resale value. But because this was beer, I thought maybe it would sell for something. So paid $3 for it and sold it for $24.99. It was a cute item. Another little piece of jewelry. I think I got this in a thrift store for $1. Not sure. Really pretty Swarovski strawberry brooch, and there is a signature on it. Let me see if I can zoom that in for you. Hold on. Okay, that's a swan, and when you see that shape, that's how you know it's Swarovski. And I saw that in the store. I could kind of, in the thrift store, I could kind of just see like the shadow of it. I was like, oh, I think that's a swan. So picked it up. Wasn't a huge amount of money, but paid $1, sold it for $14.99. Not too bad. I used to love Magic Eye books. It was a real craze. I don't know if anybody's ever seen them before, but it's very, very fun once you can figure out how to make everything look 3D. So if I see them at yard sales, I pick them up and then I lot them up and I sell them. I think maybe one of these I probably bought and paid retail price for it in the 90s, but I lotted these 4 up. I had lotted up some last week and sold those too. And anyway, I sold these for $11.99. This Mickey Mouse watch is a little bit of an oops, not because I bought it. I think I paid $2 or $3 for this in a local thrift store, but because I went home with it and I looked up what I should list it for, and I listed it for only $18.99, which I think is quite a bit below market value on this. And this was new in the box with all its paperwork, and it was working great. It actually had a new battery in it. So yeah, trying not to give them away. I mean, I do have bills to pay, right? So not complaining. It's still a fine profit, but it did sell within minutes of me listing it. So that was my first clue that I made a mistake. But I'm still happy. Paid 2 or 3, sold it for $18.99. I'm sure the person who got this is very happy. I found this lovely sterling silver necklace in a thrift store for $2 a couple of weeks ago. So this is Gorham Sterling. I think a lot of people have heard of that name brand. They made other things like vases, and they may have made flatware too. But what I really like about this is it has the Serenity Prayer. It's really tiny, but it's on the back of this heart. And the older I get, the more I actually really think that the answer to life is just right in that Serenity Prayer. It's very kind of deep, You just got to accept the things you can't change and change what you can. Anyway, paid 2, sold it for $29.99. Nice profit, lovely item. I don't remember exactly where I got this, but I think this is a recent find. I think it's a thrift store find. And what I really like about buying these is if I'm in a thrift store and I'm buying a bunch of really pretty jewelry and I see something like this, I will buy it because a lot of times this pays for the rest of my jewelry. And I don't have any attachment to this. I wasn't in the Eastern States League Junior Achievement Bureau. I don't even know what that is. But this is pretty nice. It's not even engraved yet. So not a big deal. I don't know what I paid for it. Not much. And I sold it for $11.99. Here's another A-list necklace. This was clearly signed Winnard. Winnard sells very, very well for me. It is only gold filled, right? And gold filled doesn't mean that it's on the inside. The gold is actually on the outside. So it's a little bit of a misnomer. But the thing with Winnard, it's usually a little bit thicker than some other companies have it. And the gold plating rather, does not kind of rub away if you treat it carefully. And this one was treated carefully, so it was in beautiful condition. It was very heavy. But look at those links. Isn't that great? I thought this was so beautiful. Now, I was thinking for sure I was going to get over $100 for this. Like, no problem. So I did an auction on it. I started at $49.99 and I only got one bid. And that's okay. I paid $5 for this in a thrift store. And it's a thrift store. Most stuff is usually $1. But even they knew this was really, really special. So happy with the profit. I hope the person gets it and loves it. It's okay. It's all good. I can't remember where I got this little guy, but it was a really cute poodle pin. And it says made in Germany, or maybe it just says Germany on the back. Really cute with some marcasite stones there. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a close-up of his face. He's cute, right? Look at his little mouth. I love that. I love that he's blue and green. I just loved everything about it. And the enameling had a little bit of wear right there on his front paws, his front legs, and his back leg, just a tiny bit. So this had some nice age on it, and I don't remember where I got it or what I paid, but I sold it for $24.10. I'm the original owner of this item. I had this kicking around for a long time, and I was going through some stuff, and I'm like, I don't really have a need for this. I had a lot of floppy disks, too, with like old stuff from old companies I worked in and all. Anyway, I didn't need any of them. I haven't touched any of those disks in 10 years, so I'm sure I'm not going to be anytime soon. Well, I'm not now because I threw them all out. But I had this item. So what this is if your computer didn't have one of these drives, and they don't anymore, of course, you could put this into your PC and it would read the floppy disks. I don't know what I paid for it. Probably $50 in the day, but I got all my use out of it and I sold it for $19.99. A couple of weeks ago, I had a pretty big Nintendo game haul, and I think I made like tens of dollars, like maybe $60 or $70 or $80 profit on what I bought. And I was selling them individually. These 3 did not sell individually. So that's what I will generally do. I'll buy a bunch of stuff, put it all up individually, and then at the end, whatever didn't sell, I lot, and I get rid of the last items like that. So that's what I did. I put these three up together and I sold them for $17.99, just purely in the profit on these. These are usually good sellers, these old Nintendo games. This is the last item that I sold. This was very beautiful. I love thistle jewelry. You can see that? Scottish, right? And the stone was amethyst, sterling silver, nice long 20-inch chain. And there it is, had some nice size on it. And it also had the matching earrings in really nice condition. That is a nice high setting too. Look at the prong set and the really nice big amethyst. So I don't know what I paid for this. I've had this for a really long time, so probably $2 or $3, something like that. And I sold this set for $36.99. Well, that's all I got. I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you so much. I hope to catch you soon, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you don't mind, and I'll catch you later. Have a great day.